Hi you guys, thank you for joining me here on Charlie's Edition, the Joy of Gay Sex series, which has been returning probably for after, a month or longer of me not doing the Joy of Gay Sex series. I'm back, and I'm doing it here on a Monday because it's a new era, and I decided that maybe I want to do it on a Monday now. So that's what I'm going to do. But pretty much this is a special edition show. So for all of you fans out there or people who used to watch the Joy of Gay Sex series, I'm sorry that I just abruptly cut it off. But ladies and gentlemen, I am back for some very interesting topics tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. You guys remember the book that I used to read a few things out of, the Penis book? Yes, I'm going to talk about, out of the Penis book, Circumcision, and what they do with foreskins. So, let's go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen. First topic out of the Penis book, the Great Circumcision Debate. 25 years ago, almost 90% of America's newborn boys said farewell to foreskins they barely knew. Today, that snip into manhood is anything but standard procedure. Foreskins are back in a big way. Arguments pro and con are passionate. Turtleneck or not, you decide. So let's hear what they have to say about the traditional circumcision thing. Let's hear it for tradition. If it was good enough for King David, Kirk Douglas, and Prince Charles, who was attended to London's premier mohel, why rock the boat? Advocates of circumcision cite a well-documented list of health benefits. For starters, circumcised infants are much less susceptible to urinary tract infection. The procedure virtually precludes penile cancer and eliminates, oh God, it's these big words again, and eliminates something, an inflammation of the foreskin and glands usually caused by poor hygiene. And we've talked about that the last time I was on the show, about the cheese, the stuff that ends up underneath the uncut dick if they don't clean it right. That's pretty much what they were just referring to. Studies also reveal that circumcised men are at least twice as unlikely to catch herpes, syphilis, and HIV during unsafe sex. And millions of folks just love that exposed mushroom head. Anti-circumcision advocates are hardly sitting silently in the corner. They consider the procedure an inhumane act of genital mutilation, frequently performed without anesthesia, encoding the developing brain with pain instead of pleasure. Improved hygiene standards, they argue, have made foreskin-related diseases and infections increasingly rare. Advocates for intact penises assert that the numerous nerve endings in the foreskin and its gliding action contribute greatly to a man's sexual pleasure. It protects and lubricates the glands, which, with circumcision, often becomes less sensitive over the years. Their bottom line, why would anyone want to discard the best part? And then here is a guy right here with a knife and some meat or something in his hand, talking about circumcision. So what do you guys think about that? Are you for the tradition, or are you for the anti-circumcision advocates? Very interesting. Of course, I believe it just depends on who cleans themselves best. You know, if you have an uncut dick, if you clean yourself really good and take a shower frequently and move that skin back and clean back there, then you don't have to worry about having any cheese down there. Of course, I don't know about that, but yeah. You guys would forgive me. I feel a little off right now because I sorta didn't take my blood pressure medication because I had forgot the other night, and it kind of threw me off in my normal schedule, so I didn't take it today, and so I feel all like weird. Yeah. So forgive me if I feel weird. Okay. Alright, so foreskins for sale. What do they do with foreskins after they do cut it off? Well, let's find out. Ever wonder what hospitals do with the baby's foreskin once it's been removed? More than not, this precious Clomeri isn't headed for the trash can. Over the past 2 decades, hundreds of thousands of discarded foreskins have been sold to pharmaceutical companies and bioresearch laboratories, which require young skin cells for clinical investigation and for the burgeoning field of artificial skin technology. One stamp-sized piece of foreskin contains enough genetic material to grow 200,000 units of fox skin, which is FAUX. For many, the promise of laboratory-created skin with living human epidermal and dermal cells is extraordinarily opening up major new avenues for the treatment of burns and wounds. Really? Did you guys hear that? Like, okay, earlier, somebody knocked on the door. Then the phone rings. Really? It always happens while I'm in the middle of something. For those who view circumcision as barbaric, the business of harvesting foreskins is an even greater insult. They ask, who is the legal owner of a baby's foreskin after it has been cut off? And is it ethical for a hospital to sell a baby's foreskin without telling his parents and keep money? Very interesting. And once again, for you guys who don't remember what the cheese, aka stigma, stands for, it is a thick, cheesy secretion found under the prepuce in males and around the clitoris and labia minora in females. So yeah, apparently it can happen to females and males. Very interesting. And here's that picture again. So, very interesting. So, that was just some more information out of the fabulous book, The Penis Book. So, coming up next on part 2, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to once again start reading some topics out of the fabulous book, The Joy of Gay Sex. So, stay tuned to part 2, ladies and gentlemen, and holla back.